Sometimes it's like a cage, man. They're always trying to control. We can't add on, and every time we add on, they kind of like take the idea and make it theirs. So, and then they put their narratives under it. Then we lose control of it, which was invisible in the beginning. It's designed that way, bro. I really genuinely feel it's designed that way. I feel that it's not a system that's designed to make us blossom. It's a system that's built for us to run dry. That flower will never blossom. You'll see the height of it and the potential of it. Unless I take your idea and you allow me to take it where it needs to get, in my opinion, forget it. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking as a third person right now, so that's them thinking this. But when it comes to, there's fear in it. Fear of not being able to control. We can't forget how this system was created. It wasn't a system that was created to permit us to grow and blossom. Grow and stay in your place. You can have many projects and never have the reach that you're looking for. And when you don't have that reach, all that work kind of falls into an empty space where it's useless. I take it back. It's not useless, but it doesn't reach as much people as it could and as it should. And when money's involved and you get a lot of money to run programs, spaces, you need to make the extra effort to go out and get those people into your spaces. You cannot sit around and think that just by showing up here and there with a little workshop in a school or trying to do a collaboration with somebody that already has visibility is enough for you for the community to feel like you belong. You belong in there too. A lot of those spaces are run by people that have the hero syndrome. They come and think that they have the solution without having going into the community. So instead of saying that we don't need them, I think we need to start building our own with a new structure, a new way of approaching things, where we have freedom as a private entity, and at the same time we have projects that are non-lucrative projects. And within that realm, we're able to either go for grants, and at the same time, we're able to show the community that we're building and we're bringing things for them. Whether it's, and when I say private, it doesn't really mean that you have to sell clothes or an object. We could sell formations, programs. Like there's things that we could do to actually help our community structure itself. Instead of saying, I was about to say structure our communities, but I'm taking the power away from the community when I'm saying this. So it's a question of helping them structure themselves. And in the process, structuring ourselves to collaborate in better ways. Because we all have the same dream of having a space. But we all have it individually. We need bosses with no ego or tamed ego, that are able to sit down and understand that they have strengths and roles in different realms and help each other see in each other the places where we could expand and build, and through that collaboration, start investing together. And I say investing, I feel that to get a space, I almost feel like it needs to come from us first, rather than them giving it to us. Because if they give it to us, it comes with conditions at times. I'm not saying that there's not exceptions, but most of the time we get a little office in a building with a bunch of different community organisms. We might be 20 in there, and do we still have pool? Do we still do enough? You see what I mean? So spaces will allow us to do this. Spaces will allow us to collaborate more spontaneously with each other, you know? Like we don't even realize how sometimes we know the same people, and we've built at different times with the same people. So I just feel like it needs to be organic. It needs to happen. It's our next step. we need to create that new face of the community, more so independent and not independent in action, independent in presence, in being, in manifesting, like knowing self, loyalty to self, like being loyal to us first as a person, and then from there expanding and sharing this with the people. Because once we do this, I feel that we're not bound by thoughts, we're more bound by our actions, and what we represent and what we put out. We have like brands that work super well. We should be able to have a local manufacturer where we're able to hire mothers, aunts, people that just arrived in the country that need a transitional job. At the same time, while they're working in that space, they're in a building where you have people that actually help people like single moms, new arrived people, des personnes qui ont besoin financièrement, qui ont besoin d'aide, qui ont besoin d'un support, que ce soit alimentaire, éducatif, la jeunesse, that we have all of this within the space. And that while she's there, she might be having some stresses, but she could come and talk to somebody and say, yo, I have my son maybe, or my daughter, she has this. Do you think we could find something that we could do? Yes, we got you. We got people on foot that could go there, go meet with the family, sit down, des intervenants dans space. Look, I'm done not talking about this because we need this. Maybe it's something that people don't feel like it has value in this world, but I feel that I've seen my grandma make dolls, my whole life, and selling those dolls and working in des résidences pour personnes âgées toute sa vie, and giving her time to people, going to church, giving her time to her religion. And I still feel like the system hasn't given her everything she deserved and gave her the value that she had. And I felt this when she left. I felt that she didn't get to really live life. She was of service to that system. She wasn't of service to herself. You see what I'm saying? That's why I talk about different generations, because I feel we often tend to go to the youths, but I feel that the more we get all those different generations within the same space, doing different things and being inspired by one another and merging all those cultures, I feel that's when we truly get a sense of what's the problems, what we need to help with, how we could help people. That's how I feel we move forward, So a space cannot just be a space like we see now. It needs to be a new thing. It needs to be like a mission, a vision, it has to be potent. There's people that have a mission bigger than just what they're doing as an art, because I do feel that what you guys are doing is past creating business or having clients. It's like we healing people. We're in the business of healing. So we're trying to find ways through what we love to make a medium to branch off of different things that we can help people with. And that's not what's happening right now. It's more so, like I said, the hero syndrome of having a space, and we think that this is how we do it, but we never ask the community their advice. And when we ask them, we tell them to come to board meetings or neighborhood meetings, and we wonder why they don't come. It's because we're not there. We're not reaching out for real. We're just content by just being there, just, yeah, I'm doing it. I got a salary, punch in, punch out. Shit, even when I punch out, I walk home, I'm still doing interventions with you. I'm still talking. It might take me 2 hours more before I'm able to get home, because I'll take that time to talk to the youth or the mom or the elder that needs to hear our voice, and that needs help, Even if it's just shoveling, helping a lady shovel her car. Like, we should be like this. We shouldn't be passing by somebody. We should have jobs of service. And if this is not something that they value, this is something that I'm trying to bring forward, like more valuable, simple things, being there for one another at a simple base, and then after referring them to the proper people that could help them with whatever they need. I feel that there's a lot of fear, just like why the school system is not changing. Why aren't they changing the way that they're teaching our kids? I see my kids coming home with some things sometimes, and I'm like, during the summer, we're working in that book, and you did way bigger things than this. And I see they're coming with 1 plus 2 plus. We're in a system that doesn't want to see us grow too fast. So we send our children places, we go work, and we follow. It's a system of followers. It's not a system that's based on wanting leaders. We want specific leaders. And if we get the wrong one, yo, don't forget we could take you out. But that fear is so potent, man. They'll never let us grow. So I do believe that it's made like this. They don't want to lose that leash that they have on us. Losing that leash is giving too much power to chance or expecting the best. There's too much fear of disappearing, too much fear of not being in control of where it goes, to be outgrown. We need to see the fact that we're in a place where so many cultures are mixing together, are communicating, dancing, going through the cycle of life together. We need to find a way to do this. Because once we do this in those spaces where it's run by colonial ways, and we're able to accept each other for what we are with no judgment, I feel that's when we're able to blossom. That's why I say tamed ego. Understanding we have value, but still understanding that the person beside me has as much value. You see what I'm saying? And moving forward in that. And it's not going to be through the system, because the system is already installed in the way they want it to be. So I don't even think politics could change that shit, bro, to be honest with you. I feel that's something that needs to happen from within, from the community. For me, it's different. When we're saying community, and we're in community or des organisations communautaires, two different worlds. Community is where we reside. That's where we feel comfortable. Community organisms run their things within space, and for me, sometimes I feel like that's why it's not going where it needs to go, because it's in the safety of where they're at, of the space they're in. So if this is how they do it, good for them. But I guarantee you the contact with the community will never appear. Et ça va pas se passer. Tout le temps qu'ils ne s'investissent pas fully dans la communauté, on s'en va nulle part. Ça va continuer à rester a half-ass job. As if we're putting Band-Aids. We're never actually healing the thing. We're just putting a bunch of Band-Aids. At a point in time, shit is going to bleed out. You see, until you're there, you don't know. You need to partake. You need to be there. Even more when you have programs that serves the community. You have baskets of fruits and vegetables, and you're not out there talking about it, just expecting people with their social worker that's going to refer them to the space. Nah, you need to be there. You need to tell them about it. You need to say, yo, come through. Every Wednesday we're there. You can pass through. You got brothers and sisters. How's it going? Boom, boom, boom. Or go to camps. Go talk. You need to be there. Stop staying in the office. It should be a rule, man. You're not allowed to do more than half of your time in the office. The rest of the time you should be in the freaking field, trying to understand what you're working with. Because it keeps on changing. It keeps on changing, even more when it's in neighborhoods where there's a bunch of cultures stacked up together. Because we're trying to serve everybody. So until you see what connects them all together, shit, that work is not worth nothing. You got good people that are there giving good time, but you're paying them pennies. And then you wonder why it's not working. When that person leaves, he leaves with all his contacts. And the next person has to rebuild everything. And you need to cross your finger that it's going to be somebody that's going to be worth it. Because most of them, sorry, they suck. They suck because they are afraid. They're like, how do I go and talk to people? How do you do it? You just go and talk to them. That discomfort is something we all feel. I never told myself that would be a comfortable life. If anything, I want it to be uncomfortable. So I know I'm always there trying, If that shit's comfortable, that means I'm just pleasing, like compliant, just there. Life is beautiful. Nah, it's uncomfortable because I'm trying. I'm putting myself in those places. I'm talking to some youths that might tell me, yo, fuck off, fams. And it's all good. Because maybe 2 weeks later, that youth is coming and dabbing me up and telling me, yo, what's good, man? Yo, my bad for last time. I was just having a bad day. And then you understand. But if you don't give it time and showing up constantly, that his voice says, yo, this guy helped me though. When cops were trying to stop me, or he actually did something for me. Or he helped my sister. Or he helped my mother. Yo, they need to hear it. Once they hear it, they start trusting. They're looking at that youth. They're like, damn, this might be a hard talk. How do I go talk to them? They're not thinking about, yo, that youth might need some help. Let me go holler Stills, yo, so he knows me. That's all. It's just checking in. Telling them, yo, I love you, fams. Be careful. Damn, take my number. Anytime, call me. It doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Holler at me. Anytime you need help. You need to talk, holler at me. You'd be surprised, yo, who calls you. You'd be surprised who's crying on the phone asking, damn, bro, how do I get out of it? This is a reality. Like, and this is what's sad, is that people don't sense that sense of urgency because they're not there. They're not partaking in it. Like, there's a real need, yo. There's a real need. And it's not a need that all those programs are going to solve, bro, because all those programs are not doing one thing: connecting with them truly, meeting them on their turf, on their ground. We're always expecting them to come to us. We need to go to them with everything that intends, you know, the stress and all. I'll say at time, yo, I ride for love, you know, like I got BFL, Bang for Love, which is a collective that we're running programs through, like, and that's it. Like, I'm trying to take that banging energy, like how we were ready to go, yo, anywhere for the people we loved. But let's put it on some positive thing, you know? We need to put some positive things on the things that we create. And that idea of having collectives that are there, present in the community is a beautiful idea. Now it's how do we structure it and we make it seen as something that's serious. I'll take an example. The Unity movement in Chicago. That thing is beautiful. With Golden Child. That thing is beautiful. Going to get OGs directly to deal with that murder situation that's going on down there. Making peace within people so that we could truly start building and reinvesting in our communities. Like, that's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of revolutions that I feel that I want to be part of. And I've learned to understand that there's many realms within one's life. So people be dealing with different things. Sometimes we intertwine, sometimes we don't, which is a beautiful thing. We need people to be doing different things. The more we see people like this, the more we'll be able. We need those guys that run the streets before, that changed their life 360, got a job, kids, living a good, positive life now. We need their speeches. We need to allow them to come and share their history with the youth that might be going through the same things that they were going through before. We need to find ways, but that system tells us we're not allowed to bring those people back. And that makes it that there's a gap. There's a gap that we need to bridge. It's a fucking gap, yo, generational gap. Imagine, I feel there's a gap between me and, let's say, 2 generations over me. I'm 38. So I'm talking about the people that are 40 and 50 that I saw growing. You see what I'm saying? So already there was a separation. Already there, you know, they move on, they live their lives. Unless you have family members that know, boom, boom, you get insight. But you don't get that elder or OG that's there talking that you could communicate with. That if he sees you doing shit, he's going to be like, yo, fams, yo, you don't need this. Oh, why? I could sit down with you, politic with you in any ways you want. You're piffing, he's going to sit down with you, piff with you, talk with you. He sees you're in a vibe, he's going to take the time to sit down. You might be a little sauced. It's all good. I'll take the time and talk to you, tell you, watch out, fams. We care about you. We love you, man. We don't want nothing to happen to you. They don't hear this enough. To have hope, it's because you don't believe. Because if you believed, it wouldn't be hope. You would know. So I don't hope no more. I'm so much engaged that shit's gonna work, or I'm gonna die trying to make it work, fams. Like when I say this is a vocation, yo, this is a vocation. And when we see the world that we're in right now, if this doesn't force us or makes us feel like we need to be doing something concrete other than vocalizing ourselves like they want us to do and manifesting, which is beautiful. We need to do this. But at the same time, if we're able to mobilize like this for countries out there, don't ever forget that a lot of those countries are sending people. They're trying to get that help within here in Tiohtià:ke, Montreal. Si c'est pas à proximité, c'est bien loin. Oui, on peut avoir du pouvoir politique avec notre voix. C'est super bon, ça. Mais moi, je parle d'un pouvoir live, d'action, un pouvoir d'action qu'on peut embarquer dedans directement. Il y en a plein de petits jeunes, des mères, des pères qui viennent des pays justement où est-ce que c'est la guerre. Il y en a plein, on en a plein ici. J'en vois à Côte-des-Neiges, we have a bunch. It's the transitional space for a lot of families. They come here, boom, Côte-des-Neiges, and boom, they spread out after. So I feel that instead of thinking that it needs to come from une révolte visible pour qu'ils nous voient, sometimes I feel like we could go and act directly with those people. Touch the families that are here. Maybe you'll be able to help them here, and they got family there after that they'll be able to help even faster than we are trying. So I feel that hope is not for me. I used to hope when I was giving my power to somebody else. I don't hope no more, man. I know we waking up. Now it's how fast are we willing to work and to move. I was blessed enough to be in a family that taught me knowledge of self early on, you know. It was a blessing, but at the same time, going to school, I was considered like a hyperactive kid, you know. So they put me on Ritalin, you know, trying, you know, to tame the spirit inside me. The energy was too much. Wasn't a violent kid, but, you know, the joker, always moving. It bothered, you know. So I spent most of my time outside of the class at a desk reflecting. And yeah, that reflection gave me stress, you know, but I had my parents, they gave me knowledge of like, yo, you're a great black man, you're Haitian, don't ever forget this. Haiti is one of the countries that freed the slaves, that we got our independence. Don't ever forget your heritage, you know, and tell me the truth about the history too when it comes to the colonizers and everything. I feel that this gave me, when it was supposed to give me a shield to not be being affected by it, I felt it became a weapon. My first taste of like, you're black. You see what I'm saying? And this for me is hard to swallow because I don't want to associate myself with nothing that has to do with what they're giving me. And I feel the first person that gave it to me was a white man. Probably didn't even call himself a white man. But he called me a black man, and I took it, and I'm running with it. Running to the point that they could control any narrative and put that word in, and it makes a whole shift. Do you see what I'm saying? So often it bothered me. You see what I'm saying? More so than seeing the racism is more so inside of me. I was feeling, damn, why? Why do I have to categorize myself, explain myself? And while this is happening, I'm dealing with teachers. They'll tell me, you're not going to make it nowhere. Shit, your kid is not going to finish primary school. He's going to be a delinquent. But that's crazy because I wasn't a bad kid. I was a positive kid, yo. A lot of energy. But yeah, I was a positive kid. But they were trying to break me. They actually broke me, man. They broke me to the point where I could say that there was times in my life where I tried to take my life, you know, like, and that working in the community actually saved me, man. It might sound basic, but for a child at that moment that's having so much problems with the people seeing him as something that he's not, seeing as something that they want him to be, and that he's not, and feeling like you let them down or that you let your family down was more so putting me in a traumatic space, you know, like dealing with trauma. So I was going to school dealing with trauma, home, let's not, like, my dad was a rough one, like super cool. My both parents in community invested their whole life up until now. They're the ones that gave me my drive to go do this. You see what I'm saying? But I always, from a young age, I always come back to this because at a young age, I had to accept that my father and my mother was mothers and fathers to the community. So that I needed to be okay with that. That sometimes some of my boys had more access to my dad because they were outside later and I had to stay home. And that I was like, damn, then they're telling me they saw my dad last night. I was like, damn, shit, yo, I could have been out. You see what I'm saying? So dealing with this, understanding that they were doing their work too. I was in Outremont when it was a high school. Then the school closed and I got transferred all the way to Ville Saint Laurent. When I got transferred to Ville Saint Laurent, that was a harsh thing, because I was back alone, I was with everybody from my family down there in the uptown. Everybody went to Lavoie. I got refused at Lavoie. I wanted to go to Montreal. Got refused at Montreal. They sent me all the way to Saint-Germain. And it was a whole different thing now. Because I was back alone. Again, trauma, man. Went through a lot of things, man. While I was in high school, ball saved me. I always say this. Traveling, learning about team, learning about not being afraid to trust, having victories, having I don't even think when we lost that it was a loss. I feel that we learned how to use that loss and make something out of it. And being blessed within that time to see a bunch of dope, artistic ball player. Like, this inspired me to keep on pushing. I wasn't the one, but I had heart. High school, man, understanding you're having your boys, you don't have too much money, you don't have the best clothes, hooking you up, we're going to a tournament, they see your gear, like, oh, yo, fam, let me dress you up, let me put this on you. Yo, like, I feel like I go back to hip hop now. Like, I feel that was our way, to kind of like feel worthy what we were wearing. And I had brothers that hooked me up, like put jerseys on me, like, yeah, put this. We're going to a jam, come true. Boom, put a jersey on me, tell me, let's go. You got your Dickies, your Converse perfect, let's go. Now we could go. Like, it was brotherhood. I learned that, bro. All those different things, man, those life experiences, being able to get out of where I was and learn and come back and pour into my community actually kept me going, And I say I touched on the feeling like I needed to leave this world, and I do feel I had to understand in that moment that the concept of death and rebirth was something that we could have within one's life, like to die internally and to come back as a new being, with a new vision. I think that happened a couple of times in my life too. So, yeah, man, being a person of service throughout all that time, bro, working in the community camps, they kept me going. That was my spiritual money, man. Kids, man. That's my vocation, bro. Dealing with homelessness, was in the street for a little while too. Transitioning from that step of leaving the house young, living with a woman that was older than me, then moving from there, being in the street, not letting myself fall or look like I'm falling, didn't go to my parents, was more so feeling like, damn, I fucked up, I didn't make it. I told them I would make it, that I didn't need them. And so all of this led me to become who I am now, man. A person of service with 5 kids, a beautiful wife that stuck with me since I'm 17. Yo, yeah, man. Having beautiful people around me, spirits that came at the right timing to put me back in the right lane. And making me understand that that's the goal, We have to be people that are able to show up in people's life and brighten it up, you know. And I was lucky enough to have different beings like this that came at different times and brighten up my day. Enough for me to feel like there was a reason to be there and to keep on fighting, you know. And that's why I do it, yo. For the youth, because I know that they have it in them, you know. And I feel that sometimes we don't give them the chance to fully expand and become who they need to become. And making them understand that, yo, you might fall now. The beauty is in how you get up, you know. How fast you get up, you could take your time. There's no, as long as you get up, fams, that's what matters. That shit could take a whole 10 years. Like it could take 2 seconds. As long as you get up, that's what matters. I don't care how long it takes. And teaching them that. Sometimes time is not, est pas opportun. T'as besoin de plus de temps pour pouvoir te rendre à ce qu'il faut que tu te rends. I'm seeing people trying to put themselves out there to try and heal the community. So I'm feeling optimistic. I'm living in a utopic dream that's coming to life. I've heard so many times people tell me, you're a dreamer, you're a dreamer. I actually really feel like we're getting closer to doing all those beautiful things we're talking about. And yo, I feel motivated, man. And I'm definitely dedicated to this, bro. And yo, this is a warrior's path. And yo, I wish there was more of us out there, bro. And if there are, I wish they would make themselves more visible so that we could do more, man. Do more.